What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Stand, where we, of course, are getting in a draft every day until the start of the NFL regular season. Right now, we are here on Thursday, going to go ahead, hop in another PPR draft. 3 wide receivers is mostly the format we essentially be going with. 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex, 1 QB, 1 tight end. Going to go ahead, randomize this 3 times just to see where we get. 1, 2, and 3 with the 10th. Man, 10th has kind of been our go-to, essentially. But maybe that means we're just going to need a lot of practice in this spot, seeing who we take. The route I have been going, essentially here, is been wide receiver and then running back. It's a shame that Jahmyr Gibbs is dealing with that injury. But of course, we're going to go wide receiver. We're going to choose A.J. Brown here. We do have a shot at Jahmyr Gibbs. And man, it's tempting, but so crazy that this guy is falling. I mean, it is a hamstring injury, so that's where we do have to be cautious about it. But Gibbs falling, we have to go ahead and take that value. So we do have our starting running back looking in here. Essentially, all the tight ends. I mean, Trey McBride still there. Mark Andrews still there. Possibly get them in the 4th. Laporta went a couple of picks before us. I mean, there's not really any wide receivers that we love. Malik Neighbors would be nice. Rookie. There's a lot of rookies we like this year. I'm actually just going to take the value in a lot of these tiers that are essentially just falling to us. Here, Jalen Waddle, DJ Moore, Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith is intriguing with the fact that we do have Jalen Hurts, or just drafted Jalen Hurts, so obviously having that stack. The only problem, guys, is Jalen Waddle, wide receiver 2 on his team. Devontae Smith, wide receiver 2 on his team. Plus, we already have A.J. Brown. It would just be kind of crazy to get that many Eagles. But then I'm looking here, Malik Neighbors obviously provides a lot of that exciting upside. The only problem is he has Daniel Jones throwing to him. Mari Cooper could probably be good. Stephon Diggs, wide receiver 3 there. Could essentially go with a tight end. Wow, I guess Mark Andrews is there with the... So let me see, round 5... is when we've been getting Zamir White. Could maybe get him in round 6. At least that's how we saw yesterday with us getting that first pick. Essentially, Zamir went 6, and we took Keon Coleman in the 7th. So he is still a little bit down here. I'm kind of wondering, though, which route I should go. We already have... I'm just going to go ahead. I'll tee up these 1 positions just so we don't necessarily have to... kind of worry about him as much. Either Trey McBride or Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, of course, had this minor car accident, but uninjured. He'll still be great. We'll go ahead and take him in the 4th. And with us doing multiple drafts, I mean, I'm just purely seeing who will fall to us and who could possibly shape out. George Pickens does not go there. That would have been a pick that we would have loved to take. We are in the 5th, though, and there are a lot of wide receivers we still like. Keon Coleman still down here, which is crazy. But running back wise, I'm going to go in here. Kenneth Walker's still there. Ramondre Stevenson, James Conner, David Montgomery. Guess what, guys? Still would take Zamir White over all of them. Quarterback, we already got quarterbacks. Tight ends, good to know that Dalton Kincaid at least still here in the 5th. Wide receiver wise, let me see. Really, the 3 that I would consider here, wide receiver wise, would be Calvin Ridley, Terry McLaurin, and Rashee Rice. Running back, though, here, and we got to play our game. I always said the rule is Ramondre Stevenson in the 5th. I'll come back around here, see who in the 6th and 7th. All right, now this one's a little bit harder of either Terry McLaurin, Rashee Rice, or Calvin Ridley. More than likely, I'll take a chance on Calvin Ridley here. He's a wild card to me. Will Levis is a wild card to me. Jaden Daniels goes in the 6th. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Still have Keon Coleman down here. Possibly get him in the eighth. Running back wise, we have David Montgomery, Jalen Warren, Raheem Mostert. You know what? This isn't best ball. I'll just take the best value there. Even though we have Jameer Gibbs, we'll go ahead and take David Montgomery. Maybe they'll provide some value. Wide receiver wise, looking here, the ones that are enticing, of course, Lad McConkey, Xavier Worthy, Brian Thomas Jr. We are going to grab the wide receiver, the rookie wide receiver we believe in the most in Keon Coleman. Brian Thomas, though, is another one in consideration. He's here. I'm actually just going to go ahead and take him, just shore up that depth. Miss out on a couple of running backs in just was it Chase Brown and Ezekiel Elliott. Still looking here, we got Jerome Ford, Gus Edwards, Trey Benson, Blake Corum, Rico Dowdle still there. I'm actually going to go Jerome Ford just to take that RB1 in round 10. A lot of guys are going. Running back wise, mostly everyone went there. Trey Benson, Blake Corum, even J.K. Dobbins, if you think he's going to be the one to take over with Gus Edwards, essentially still. Man, it's crazy how those two guys are always just injured. Tight end wise, Jake Ferguson is there. That's purely just to get a good backup. And I think that's probably the route going to go, just kind of looking here in the wide receivers. I mean, could give a shot at Jahan Dotson. Jalen Polk, honestly, would be very interesting to me. But I think Jake Ferguson, just provides a lot of good upside. I think he'll be great with Dak. Going to come in here and actually take Jalen Polk now. So one of the reasons I've actually been going wide receiver, essentially to start, is because most of the other wide receivers that I like are rookies. Keon Coleman, Brian Thomas, Jalen Polk, Lad McConkey. There's a lot of good rookies, essentially, to try and take a chance on for this year. We just looking here, we got 2 picks left. Thielen, Bateman, Leggett. Leggett, to me, is the one that is kind of standing out the most. And that's who I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the guy that I want to intake. So we got one more. Go with Rashad Bateman. I'm trying to see who else here. Probably have some good. Had a decent preseason. Malachi Corley in consideration. Let me see the team was. Quarterback, 2, 3, 4 running backs. The rest wide receivers. There's not really another running back here that we would like. If this was best ball, I more than likely would, of course, take Alexander Madison or, maybe get a backup position. With it not, though, I'm just taking the upside and the wide receivers here. So that's actually good to know. There's still going to be a lot of good wide receivers kind of later on that you can take a chance on. Just in case, you do decide to start off running back, which, of course, wouldn't blame you. See where we go. 74, right in the middle. All right, guys, checking out this roster. So this one we did go wide receiver, running back in the second round. So A.J. Brown, Jameer Gibbs came in, was able to get Calvin Ridley, Keon Coleman for our starting wide receivers. Obviously, Keon Coleman, rookie wide receiver. The other rookies, we're going to kind of interchange a little bit there. But not necessarily a bad roster. Not a fan of the Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery, both on the same team, but honestly, they both could provide value. One's going to get the PPR points, one's going to get the touchdowns. So this, to me, isn't necessarily a bad roster. You got arguably one of the top QBs and top tight ends as well on this team, and a lot of good depth, essentially, on our bench. So let's go back in here. We will draft again. Go back to these draft settings. 10th, PPR. Let's go ahead, knock another one down. So we'll see who we go here. Jameer Gibbs still falling. So obviously we've been liking our wide receiver take here in the beginning. I'm actually going to go another wide receiver. This one here of Marvin Harrison Jr. Running back wise, I feel, we are going to missing out on the running back we want. So the one reason, especially later on in the draft, I've been going wide receiver, running back, is to at least get one of the guys that I have been wanting or liking this year. And as you can see here in the third, I mean, one team went 3 running backs, 2 teams went 3 running backs. This one seems to be heavy running back here, but honestly, that right there is a pretty good start. Tyreek, Derek, Pacheco, that's pretty awesome. Would love if we could have, of course, our 2 stout wide receivers and then be able to have like Isaiah Pacheco there. Very interested to see Alvin Kamara and Josh Jacobs kind of moving up here in the third. So with us being essentially us punting the running back position, because there's really no one else I like until round 5. I mean, Rashad White will get some PPR points. James Cook, I mean, I would love if he could just be used around the goal line a little bit more. All right, it's 3. You know what? I'm going to go heavy wide receiver here. Our thought process there was either between Evans or Hurts. If Hurts would have fell, that would have been awesome. But as you can see, here in the fourth, there's still no one really. I mean, I could go Rashad White, tight end wise. You know what? We're punting the running back position till the 5th in this draft, just to see who goes. I did go Trey McBride there over Mark Andrews. Okay, so we have a shot, at least the running backs we still want. For sure, just smashing Zamir White here just to make sure we get him. Coming in here, we either have James Conner or Raheem Mostert. That's actually pretty tough. Man. That's tough when we are punting essentially the running back position until the later rounds. Because obviously we got some great pieces where we need them. Still missing the quarterback. This is where Dak could be great. Jordan Love will provide some benefit. Kyler Murray does go a little bit before us. But here, if can get one more quality guy. Man, the only problem is we really will be losing out on either Dak Prescott or Jordan Love more than likely. Running back wise, do need a decent one. I'm essentially punting the quarterback position here. Hey, Keon Coleman there in the 8th. Look at that. People know. People know. But also with that, it still leaves Dak Prescott, Jordan Love. Looking here, we got Jackson Smith and Jigba, Hollywood Brown, who's dealing with the injury. Lad McConkey, another exciting rookie that we like. Also, Brian Thomas Jr., who is also another rookie that we like. So you know what? I'm actually going to come in here. I'm going to get the quarterback I want in Jaden Daniels just so I don't miss out on him. And lucky for us, we don't miss out on any of the other quarterbacks don't go. Jerome Ford, Xavier Worthy go. Chase Brown is here. He is in consideration with the fact that we are essentially going to need running backs. He does have a shot at... Oh, man. This is tough, but you got to play your game. And this is also what practice is for, guys. This is why we practice. Brian Thomas Jr. does go a couple picks after. Pretty bummed about that. Coming in here, there's still Trey Benson, Rico Dowdle to give a shot on. Blake Corum, if we were the Kyron Williams owner, of course, that would be in consideration. Honestly, though, Jake Ferguson's still there. Running back wise, I'm gonna go ahead and just get Trey Benson, just get the get some backups, get here. Dak Prescott's still there. That's kind of shocking. Honestly, it becomes a value at this point. Tight end 10, you got Brock Bowers, wide receivers we can deal with. We do have Jaden Daniels, but Dak Prescott still there. We got 3 more spots. Okay. Go ahead, start getting some of these wide receivers. the good rookies we like. Jalen Polk. Xavier Legette does go, though, in that round 12. We miss out on him. Still here, Demario Douglas, Rashad Bateman. Jermaine Burton also there as well. He should be fighting for that wide receiver 3 spot. That is interesting. So not only is Tyler Boyd not there anymore, but T. Higgins is also possibly not going to be there next year. So it would be interesting for Burton. Let's see one more. Anyone on the running backs? Jaleel McLaughlin. That could be very interesting to take. Tight end wise, honestly, you take Hawkinson purely just to put him on your IR. That's really what we would do. Like, if we had this year, we do have Trey McBride. It's like, yeah, take TJ Hawkinson, put him on your bench. Whatever. That's if I mean, not whatever, but if this is how I was doing redraft and this is my thought process, I'll at least share it with y'all. So coming in here, I think we just need our defense and kicker. So we'll grab this. We'll see how we end up. I'd probably not the highest with our running backs, obviously being real light. 75. I mean, a little bit better than the one before this. But start off again with A.J. Brown. Ended up going Marvin Harrison Jr. as the wide receiver there. In round 3, we were hoping Isaiah Pacheco would have been able to land back to us. He didn't, so ended up just taking the value in another wide receiver there. That's why, at least how I've been doing this, it's more than likely looking that I will get my wide receiver champion, and then in round 2, choose my pick of Kyron Williams, Isaiah Pacheco, or Derrick Henry, whichever 3 I want. Maybe A-Chain if all those other ones are still there. But coming in looking here, we did sleep on the running back position. So right now our starters are Zamir White, Raheem Mostert with Brian Robinson Jr. in the flex. Other running backs, Chase Brown, Trey Benson, hoping that they can just make a jump this year, and Trey Benson eventually take over that backfield. Jane Daniels is our quarterback, being the good dual threat. Ended up taking Dak Prescott as well, just because he fell so late to us, and will of course take those veteran points. Trey McBride as the tight end. Let me see here. Where else? Jalen Polk, Rashad Bateman, T.J. Hawkinson is the last pick to throw on your IR spot when you're done drafting. So this was us going wide receiver. I'm going to go ahead and just do one more draft, kind of see who, of course, is falling where, and just see how our team can shape up. I obviously do love Travis Kelce on our squad. Oh, man, this one's tough because now, there's literally no one we like at 10. I mean, Garrett Wilson, maybe. Puka Nacua, who's injured. Devontae Adams, who everyone talks about, is over the hill. Jonathan Taylor, who may not be finishing as the RB1 because of Anthony Richardson. Jahmyr Gibbs, who has the hamstring injury. Saquon Barkley, where is this it? Could it maybe be the team? But Devontae Adams right there as well. Man, this is tough. If I'm sticking to my wide receiver guns, though, and I'm going to have to take the next best one available, to me, I guess it would be Garrett Wilson. Marvin Harrison Jr. does seems enticing to me as well, although I just can't find myself to push that trigger in the first round. In the second, for sure. All right, well, I'm just looking at the value that fell to us. We don't have any Saquon Barkley stock, but the fact that he was there in round 2 with how I've kind of been playing this, and as you can see, everyone went where we missed out on him. Coming in here, looking at these other guys, Malik Neighbors does provide that excitement. To me, it is Cooper Kupp. The reports that it's his spot again. You know, if Puka didn't have the injury, I would not be as confident in Puka. I mean, in Cooper. But the fact that Puka is dealing with that, the fact that Cooper Cup is healthy or back all the way, it's just we can't pass that up. And looking in here, I mean, last year's MVP, we don't have to worry about taking a shot or guess on anyone else. We already have a stout running back. We already have our 2 wide receivers to where we don't necessarily have to spend up on, say, Malik Neighbors right here. But someone like Lamar Jackson, who obviously provides great rushing and passing upside, I'll take him. And 5. Look at that. Kyler Murray now in 5. That's crazy. I mean, I'm loving the way this one's fallen. I mean, you've been following along. George Pickens has definitely been a pick. I'm choosing George Pickens here. I'm hoping Zamir goes to 3 or goes all the way to 6. Luckily, we were at the end of that turn because I probably would have more than likely missed out on him. And as you can see here in the 6, that's why I say you have to smash draft him in the 5th, because in the 6 here, more than likely, he is going before you have a shot to take him. Miss out on Raheem Mostert there. Couple of running backs. Still some good ones. Brian Robinson Jr. still available. You got Jaden Reed here, which is very, very interesting. Get my running back in the 7th, seeing the 8th if the wide receiver I want fell to me, and lo and behold, he did. 4 wide receivers actually go. Jaden Reed, the first one. And then, of course, Lad McConkey, Xavier Worthy, and then Jackson Smith and Jigba. We're going to come in here, take the wide receiver we like, hoping Brian Thomas Jr. can fall to us again. We're hoping. He went right there. That's okay. We still got the one rookie that we believe in. Still think Brian Thomas Jr. could flash and be great. Romeo Doubs in consideration right here. Running backs wise, Chase Brown, Jerome Ford still available. Probably going to go Jerome Ford here. Jaden Daniels still there. That's crazy. But just looking at the team, obviously we already have our top QB. And at this point, we can honestly get our second one if we want. Trey Benson in consideration here. Rico Dowdle, should we really need another running back, which we only have 4. My receivers only have 4. Tight ends available, man. I can go ahead and take a shot at one of these tight ends of either Kyle Pitts or Jake Ferguson. You guys know I don't like to play it safe. We'll see, though, which tight ends go. Oh, there goes Ferguson. Njoku, which leaves. Oh, no one. Damn. I didn't see that third one go, but Kyle Pitts did go right after. Well, our team is going to be a little light there in that position. Of course, I could go back. I don't want to. Receiver-wise, there goes Jalen Polk. Tight end-wise, we got Goddard, Bowers, Freiermuth, Schultz, Hopkins there. Low-key, I like Cole Kmet. I think he will win that job over Gerald Everett, and the fact that Caleb Williams is throwing to him, I think he'll be a nice safety blanket. Look at the rankings. If there's no one really here that I like, running back-wise, no. Ty Chandler, maybe. Wide receiver-wise, Jahad Dotson could bounce back. Jalen Polk here. Rashad Bateman. Xavier Legette. I'll go ahead and just grab Polk just to make sure I do not miss out on him. Coming here tight end-wise. I mean, there's Dallas Goddard, Brock Bowers. What's the... So I will say, after the Ferguson essentially going, this does make this decision a lot harder. Yes, Dallas Goddard is there, but is he really going to get a lot of value, having Hurts there? Or I guess in the new offense, perhaps. Let me see if as long as there's no one else I really like. So, we already have Jalen. Rashid Shaheed, maybe. What's the write-up on his injury? Well, it says he's injured, but that was a 25-minute ago write-up. Darnell Mooney, he was in consideration being wide receiver 2. This is the only spot where if you don't, and this is kind of a reason I have been spending a little bit early on those tight ends in round 4, probably round 4, if I am going to be doing Zamir White in round 5, is the fact that, yes, we have our one tight end in Goddard, but honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have someone else like a Freiermuth who is supposed to thrive in this Arthur Smith offense. We'll, of course, see if that could possibly happen. Yeah. I feel like I'm just going to need that depth. Dalton Schultz is also somewhat enticing. The only problem with him, though, is you do have the 3 wide receivers you're contending with, and then also Joe Mixon. So it's like, do you want to be the fourth, fifth option on that team? So that's the only reason I'm been a little bit hesitant on Dalton Schultz. I think he will be able to provide a little bit of value, but just not as much as you were hoping. Looking at the teams, need one more. More than likely here, going to go wide receiver. I'm going to go the wide receiver I like, and that's Xavier Legette. So we are down to our last 2 picks. Really appreciate you guys following along again. And like I said, guys, just coming in here, getting in a draft every single day if we can, just to see where some of these ADPs are going, where some of these players are falling. So I really appreciate you guys following along, being here. We'll see if we get another 70. Oh, hey, three C's. Normally there's a D in here. But this one is now 74. And this is where we spent up on a higher quality quarterback. Obviously, our tight end was the one that slipped. We ended up with Dallas Goedert and Pat Freiermuth. Not the ideal situation. But let's go ahead and check out this third roster here. We got Lamar Jackson up top as our QB. Running backs Saquon Barkley, Zamir White. Wide receivers Garrett Wilson, Cooper Kupp, George Pickens, tight end Dallas Goedert. In our flex spot, we have Brian Robinson Jr., and then to go through our bench spots, we have Keon Coleman, Jerome Ford, Jaden Daniels, exciting rookie to back up Lamar, Jalen Polk, another exciting rookie, Pat Freiermuth, who's supposed to thrive in this new offense, and Xavier Legette, who just has all the tools and tangibles to be a star. So really appreciate you guys coming in. Oh, didn't get an 80 on this one, but 79, close. I'll take it. Really do appreciate you guys following along again. Hoping we can maybe get some more of these 10th picks because this definitely is one of the hardest places to draft this year. So take care, guys. We'll see you again next time. And should be back tomorrow with another draft. Y'all take care.